day, listeners and viewers. I'm Ruthina Victor, and I have the awesome privilege and honor to speak with His Excellency Archbishop Santiago De Wit Guzman. He is the papal nuncio to our country and to the Antilles Episcopal Conference. Good afternoon to you. And it's a pleasure to have you here on our island. So how have you been going so far in terms of your interactions with the various persons?
Has been a very intense,
Yes.
very, had a chance on Wednesday to celebrate the Mass at the Cathedral, and that was another beautiful opportunity to share our faith, our mission, and to fulfill as well the reason for which I've been sent by the Holy Father to be Apostolic Nuncio in the region.
Yes. Now, we have not been as close to the Vatican, growing up. And here we are sitting with you as the papal representative, and this is awesome. And it speaks to the presence, when you spoke at the cathedral, gave the homily. Actually, I don't know. Many people said they felt it's like there was a presence of the Holy Father. Now, you've been close to him, I would think, and your coming here speaks volume to us. What is so important for the nuncio? What is your main role for being here and for the Pope sending you to these parts, to this region?
For me, so important in order to know better the reality of the Catholic Church, because in a certain way, I'm here because of the Pope wants to know what's going on, what's going to happen, which are the needs, the urgencies, the challenges. He is very much aware and is very much close to what these local churches are living and suffering. So, and needing, so in a certain way, for me, it's very important because I'm going to report. Although I'm going to report in an official way, I think I'm going to have a chance to stay with him and to exchange with him. And he will want to know which are the details and which are the challenges this church is facing. And of course, he's very much interested in reminding that he's close to the bishop. He's close to the successor of the apostle, which is at the head of the local church, and through him and with him, we find out and we live the communion. Our faith is in Jesus Christ.
If you want to become, for example, how did they recognize you as a person with that gift of being a diplomat?
Local bishops have to present candidates.
Okay.
Priests have to be already priests.
Okay.
So that they go to this diplomatic school, which is in Rome, and it depends of your background in talking in ecclesiastical studies, you can stay 2, 3, 4 years. And then you have internal courses to prepare you for the diplomatic life, and then, well, you leave and you start, and the beginning you change every 3 years.
Okay.
And after a long period of time, if they believe that you are able to become a nuncio, they nominate you.
You are an apostolic nuncio,
Yes.
carrying on the tradition of the church, really, to the presence of I would say, the Holy See, the presence of the Holy Father, wherever you go.
The minister of communion of the Holy Father
to ensure that
Catholic
is so.
Church. Yeah.
So when you come and you speak to our bishop, I guess you listen to his heart, you listen to what he's saying, and you have encounters with the various sectors or clergy, it helps you to understand the church in that.
I try to know and to have access to all the information and to know the people, the clergy, the religious people, the sisters, the brothers, all the apostolic people engaged, lay people engaged. I met last Tuesday. I met lay people as well, and it was a very experienced great time and a great experience. So I think, of course, but I am an instrument of the communion of the Pope. So, but I am this instrument. I cannot be a different person of what I am. So, and I'm trying to do it in a way.
This word communion,
Yeah.
this communion brings, like, for example, in the synod now, one of the aspects, this word of communion, has to be taken in a broader concept, you know, in terms of our relation, with each other.
And knowledge.
And
knowledge.
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 Okay.
And understanding that the communion pushes to walk together and to listen and to dialogue and to understand better who you are.
Yes.
So, yes,
Okay.
that's a ministry since the very beginning. One of the most beautiful images of the Holy Catholic Church is communion, no? Because in Jesus Christ we build that building in which everybody, by the faith in Jesus Christ, incorporated, and where everybody is finding his vocation,
Yes.
his mission, and he finds out new ways for integrating and for incorporating.
Sure. Now, you are a diplomat, you are the Pope's representative. In terms of your background, I know you're Spanish from Valencia. Help us to understand a bit of your background, your family.
Well, I am the seventh of 8 children, so my parents were very Catholic. We were a very Catholic, traditionally Catholic family. But okay, we were at the same time. We enjoy a great time at home, and well, I think the good things of being 8 is that you have to share, you have to listen, you have to renounce to some things because others have more privileges than you, and then it will take your time to have your privileges recognized. But at the end, you learn to live together, no? Which is a wonderful thing. And with the time and with the perspective, I realized how good my parents they were in respecting, in giving, in trusting, and in showing us the precious gift of faith, and of course in showing us how love can overcome almost everything, even death.
Yes. Wow. No, it's so important because the family is affected very much in this time in which we live.
Yeah.
And there doesn't seem to be much emphasis or focus on the quality and formation that happens in our families. And may I ask, you would think that your vocation arose from there?
Well,
From
I
your
think,
family?
to be honest, it was much more at the time when it happened. My vocation had to see with my school. It was a Catholic school.
Okay.
They were organizing. I was 16 years old when I started to think about that. It was a little bit surprise for everybody that I was thinking about that. But anyway, it went on, and it became a reality. And then I had always the support of my parents and of my family. Although that part of that period of time, I was not seeing the relationship because I thought my parents have a very traditional religious life of living their faith, etc., which probably I didn't recognize myself in that. But as I told you, I think step by step, with the years on being a priest, and I started to admire the way my parents handle with all the situations they had to face, because they lost 2 children, and the way they were able to overcome and to keep loving and to keep smiling and to keep trusting, no? And at the end, this is the most important thing. And then of course, I recognize myself, and I owe her, I know to my parents, and especially to my mother, a lot of things, because she showed me that a good Christian has to be a good human being.
In terms of the church, what you've been hearing, the drop in the number of persons coming to church now. The church's ability to attract the young in the midst of all of these technology and the advancement, artificial intelligence, all of these secularization, all of these are how are they affecting, and how does the church look at what can we do, to help our young people? Because as you said, if the young people are not there, then what do we have?
I think it is a
Yes?
challenge. So, because I think we have a problem because what we say, our vocabulary or our language, the language we use to transmit that, I think maybe some part of our society are not understanding, no? Or we talk a special language that is not understood. I mean, because we are using categories that maybe they are not used anymore. So, sense of life, reason. Do you want to be saved? Salvation, incarnation, redemption, all these kind of things. Probably young people don't understand why I needed to be redeemed. Redeemed from what? Saved from what? We have to understand that we have to connect with in another ways, and we have to look for it. And I think they need to work and to promote values in all the aspects of this artificial intelligence world and internet and all the environment, which becomes very important, because if there are no values, we run the risk of just going too far and going beyond any expectation for the future and for our world. And well, it is the same for the church, in order to be able to keep preaching the word of God and to bring this word of God to the life of the people.
No, Pope Francis is very he has a dream. He has a dream for young people. He has hope in the young people. And most of the pontiffs, they would start off their pontificate with, be not afraid, launch out.
Open your hearts
Yes.
to Christ.
Yes. He has, you are near to him in a sense, but what do you sense is his heart is for these young people? Because I am amazed that when they ask him questions, he doesn't come over as a moralist. He speaks the love of God to them. He brings his scripture, he brings the love of God to them in a way that melts your heart. And some of them even cry because it's like
Well, he has
they
this
receive it
charisma,
inside.
he has
Yes.
this sensibility, this capacity of touching other hearts. But I think he's a passionate of the gospel. I think his first encyclic was Evangelium Gaudium, no? So it was the joy of preaching, the joy of
The
proclaiming
gospel,
the salvation of Jesus Christ. No? So I think, and this is a programmatic encyclical in order to pushing us, everybody in the church, to understand and to live and to share that joy. I think we should be more happy doing what we do, and sharing this happiness.
Can I ask you, in terms of the COVID virus,
Yes.
we have experienced the onslaught of this COVID pandemic that shut down the world. How much you think this would have affected people's faith, from where you sit?
I was visiting Barbados 2 weeks ago, and information is okay. We haven't reached at all the number of people who were coming at church before COVID and after COVID. So, of course, it's affecting them. And I'm sure that in Spain it's the same, and many countries of the world has to be the same.
You approach things like that when we look at the church. You're calm, you're very calm. Many people are, I guess, what can you do? You pray, you're calm, and you wait on God. How do you help people to not panic in situations like this? Even when you see young people not coming, the church is emptying, it's just not where we were.
But,
how do we inspire hope?
But in a personal way, you have to ask yourself, have you done the maximum. So have you done your best? Have you given your best trying to find a solution? Then at community level, what we can do. So, and then at diocesan church, what we can do. But at the end, we cannot shake people by his shoulder, their shoulders. Come on, you have to go back. So we have to do whatever we have to do. We have to keep praying, and we have to keep answering or asking what we have to do for facing all these problems, all these difficulties. But at the end, we cannot lose our peace because we are not finding a direct solution. Things are going in God's way, and we are in His hands, and we have to try our best. But in a moment, we have to learn to trust Him, to keep fighting, and to keep living, and to keep thanking Him.
Yes.
Thanking Him for all what we have received, for the gift of the faith, and for being part of this church, and for being able to hope.
Yes. You made a very important point in your homily on Wednesday.
Yes.
And you were speaking of this whole question of trusting, waiting, not panicking in the sense that being able to recognize how God is working in your situation.
Yeah, and what is He trying to tell us? So
yes.
Sometimes we want to do that, and they think, wait, what's not working? Sometimes I think, and we have to recognize that we are not understanding maybe what is needed, and sometimes it's a normal guy or normal people who are telling you, okay, follow us, we will show you. So that's the beauty of being part of the Catholic Church, the live in the communion, and understanding that everybody matters and everybody may bring an answer for a question that we never found out.
Yes. And that has worked for you, I would imagine.
Well, it works exactly because at the end we grow in the good times and in the bad times, and we grow through crisis and through difficulties and through our loneliness as well. And the life of an apostolic nuncio is interesting, but maybe it's not that easy sometimes because you are losing ground with true communities because we don't have to take care a real community.
I just look at the synod and its importance to the direction that the church is taking at this time. Normally with synods, you have a topic like you might do the family or you do the Eucharist. But this time, Pope Francis said it's a synod on synodality.
Yes.
And it offers a different dimension, a different aspect. He speaks of from the bottom up, in a sense.
Yeah.
And not just from these bishops just going to Rome to do their thing and come back and tell us what the findings are. How important is this at this time where the church is from where you sit?
I think all this process is helping us to understand that all these conflicts, all these problems, all these difficulties, all these incapacities for facing this world changing so quickly and so fastly. And as you said before, it cannot be. We are not going to find a solution when all the bishops assembled in Rome for dealing and talking and they reach conclusions and then we come back and then think, okay, the synodality has become a reference of that as a church, everybody's involved, everybody's responsible, everybody has to understand that is needed for finding the solutions and for walking this process in order to become closer capable of answering what the world is asking and is looking for. So, and this is the importance of the synodality, and I think this is something which is going to become not become more important. It's going to become essential, because at the end, if we are not all together facing all these questions, we are not going to be able to find the way of answering and becoming faithful to the mission of Jesus Christ, which the gospel all over the world.
Wonderful. So just by way of final words that you'd want to leave with us, those who are listening, those who are meeting you for the first time, those who are just hearing about this Apostolic Nuncio, what word would you like to leave with us as we bring this, this special
Well, I would like to thank Monsignor Javi and all the Catholic Church I met in Grenada, because welcome has been extremely warm, extremely friendly, and well, they have allowed me to get into their worries, concerns, into their life, and this is always something which makes me good or well, I think, because it takes me out of my routine, it reminds me for whom I work, and how much I need this kind of contact and this kind of missions, visiting and knowing another reality in the Catholic Church, as is the Diocese of St. George in Grenada. But I would like to say that one thing of this synodality is that everybody, or you cannot believe, you are much better than the other ones, no? And that you are over other people, or your responsibility is more important than other responsibilities. No, I feel part of this Catholic Church. I have a mission, I have a responsibility to carry, and I realize that for doing that properly, I need the help of the whole community. I need the help of the bishops, I need the help of the clergy, I need the help of the lay people, the religious life, all those who are involved and engaged in renewing the mission of the church in this world. And to be part of this church and to be part of this wonderful network of human being love and mercy is what becomes the most precious gift I received. And what I want to share is that it's wonderful to be part of this Catholic Church. It's wonderful to be part of this mission, and it's wonderful to learn, to grow, and to experience that the love and the faith of the people of God helped me to grow and to love and to believe in Jesus Christ.
What's the most memorable thing you take back as you leave Grenada and Grenada shows?
To be honest, I found the island lovely. I found the lovely island is it's not pretentious. It's nice. It's warm. It's friendly, and the people is nice.